Listener discretion is advised. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, coast to coast.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. And tonight I'm delighted to have back in the studio Everclear. Art, Craig, and Greg are all here from the band. Drew, I'm not as excited about seeing, and he's sick, and so is half the band. So it's going to be a tough night. I can say I'm going to have to toe the line one more time.
You know what always amuses me is you always go, Drew is a board-certified physician, blah, 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 blah. You never say what you are. What are you?
I am a buck-toothed, Brillo-head a-hole from North Hollywood.
He used to call
you're
him
a sick bastard.
He used to call himself a philosopher warrior.
Yeah. I like.
You were one of those freaks out in Tahunga, like beating on drums and stuff with a bunch of men, right?
You know what? I swear to Christ, I hope my mom is not listening. I found out recently that my mom met my stepfather in primal scream therapy. Yeah, that equals another 6 years of therapy for me.
Oh,
you understand?
Oh, yes.
At least 6.
On many levels.
Yeah.
Stepfather.
You know the worst thing about that whole primal scream thing? That's where the song from Tears for Fears, Shout, came from.
Really?
Yep. They spent a summer in primal scream therapy.
An entire summer.
Yep.
How can you do that?
Did them a lot of good.
Yeah, well, they got the big hair out of it.
I don't even know if that's around anymore, is it?
No.
No. You just... I remember, and we'll go all over the place tonight,
We're old.
but the thought was, if you have anger, you got to get it out.
Yeah, there's a whole theory about evocative therapies, that if you could just evoke the feeling, it would vanish into thin air.
Yeah, they had these things called, like, bataka bats. Remember those? They were like padded sticks that you'd beat the crap over.
We were given those when I was in, like, 4th or 5th grade.
Bataka bats?
Yeah, man.
Here's the logic to that. You give Mike Tyson, put him in the ring, let him really start going at it, and then go, okay, you feel better now? Stop. You feel good? Right?
No, because he rapes a chick on the way back to the locker room.
Yeah, now he's got ahead of steam.
No,
now
he's just
really
pumped
into it. Yeah, now he's really going. Your brain's in an entirely different state then. Things you would never otherwise even experience, you're now in that state.
It's true.
I take it you don't philosophy. You don't cotton to that philosophy.
No, it's a good thing.
No, he doesn't. Songs from an American Movie, Volume 2. We were talking about Volume 1 last time we were here. This just hit the record stores a few days ago. Good wait a minute. Yeah, Good Time for a Bad Attitude. And this is Everclear's second CD in this sort of 2-CD set that's not being released simultaneously. Would that be the way to say it?
Yeah, I guess.
One's a little more melodic, and the other one's more of a rock CD.
This is the rock CD.
Right, and I've been seeing the guys on TV and hearing everything on the radio, so I'm just assuming everything is going extremely well for the band.
It's going good.
Good.
People buying records, things are good.
Yeah, that's good. You guys, I'm trying to think. Oh, I always offend the band, but your band. We have a lot of bands on this show that come on real strong and then they fade away, and then there's other bands that come on real strong and they just keep going like gangbusters, which is sort of few and far between, and they don't come back onto this show
Ever.
But you guys came on strong, and I thought, oh, these guys are great. I hope they're around for a while, and then they leveled out for a while, but not a dip, just kind of a level. And then came back strong again, which is great. And you came back, which is great.
So basically, we're in a state of perpetual aggressive mediocrity that tends to lend us, to have to stoop to your level.
Cyclical, aggressive mediocrity that breeds repetitiveness and complacency. Right, Drew?
Yes.
Thank you.
You were afraid you were going to offend us. No, not at all.
We're right there with you.
Here's Hawkeye, who's 22.
Hey, love your guys' show.
Thanks.
I got a little fetish type problem that I can't seem to get rid of.
Oh, dear.
The only way I can really get aroused with my wife is she has to take a shower, and I have to be in the act of toweling her off. And otherwise, I have no arousal whatsoever. And I was wondering what I could do to change that.
What is it about the toweling off process?
I don't know. Just the act of doing it, I guess, just really kind of gets me going. And there's nothing else that will do it for me.
How often does she have to act this out for you?
Well, every time we want to do it, so probably every other night or so.
Does it have anything to do with hygiene? I mean, do you want her? Does the cleanliness part turn you on, or is it the actual blotting that gives you a boner?
It's the actual, just the rubbing and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And nothing really else gets it going for me but that, and I just want to know what I can do to change that around.
Well, why do you have to change it necessarily? Why is it important to
Is she getting tired of taking showers?
Yeah, she's tired of being clean, I guess.
How about a bath? Is that okay? Is it just the toweling off?
It's just the toweling off.
Does she have to be wet, or can you just rub her dry?
take a squirt bottle? It was a little Mister spray, Mister, yeah.
Mister. A little Mister or seltzer bottle.
Yeah.
Add a little humor in the boudoir.
What's not funny about that?
Yeah.
Pie in the face, seltzer bottle.
Hey, yeah, Hawkeye, I don't know if this works for you and it's not hurting anybody, and she doesn't seem to mind. I mean,
what the hell?
We're all for it.
Why not?
Sounds good, I guess.
All right. Yeah, hey, what, can you watch pornography?
While you're toweling?
No, but like, can you watch a regular porn, or do you have to watch shower porn?
Well, no.
If so, let me tell you about one. There's one called Nymph with Chasey Lane. It's all about every time this guy turns on the shower, the nymph from the underwater spring comes out.
Oh, really?
And has sex in his bathtub. But she can only have sex, and her vixen
Nymph
friends,
yes.
yeah, can only have sex in when they're around water. And the amazing thing is, they're the spirits of Native American princesses that were killed in the water and became water nymphs.
I like when they get real lofty with the premises for this thing.
It's really cool because Native American princesses from like 400 years ago had tattoos, tribal tattoos all over their pelvic region. Right. And piercings in their nipples. It's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Right. And a bad weave. Hey, Hawkeye?
Yeah.
I'd like to recommend a porn called Mrs. Bubble. Now, this is one that's not talked about. All right, Hawkeye, and enjoy yourself.
It is interesting, though, that people that have fetishes usually are sort of ashamed of them. They think there's something wrong. They need to change it.
Do you really think that was real?
I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't know.
I'm with Art, though. It is funny when they try to do these historical porn movies, and you see that Washington or some guy's playing like MacArthur, but he's sporting a mullet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just as bad. It's as bad as those westerns from the 50s when the guy had the hair pomade and the hair and grease back and the whole thing. Actually, it's a little better. Kane?
Yeah?
You're 16. What's up?
Hey, I just made my question. Just say hi to you guys. You guys rock. Adam, I'd take a bullet for you.
Great.
Dr. Drew, I think you should run for president.
All right.
There you go.
And
you are an asshole.
Oh.
Does that take a bullet for me? Would that work if I was going to be shot and I could somehow substitute you at a later date to be shot for me? Or
anytime you want, you can pull me in.
However it would work,
You know,
he'd be willing to
I
do
think
it.
it's connected with him being president.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I think Drew is smarter than Bush and Gore put together.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yes, he is.
But it's not hard to
go for the vice president.
Thank you. I immediately
have a shout.
all right.
Let me say to the people of America and the nations of the world that I hate your ass. Swear to God, I do.
You're great, too, with that sound. You got me laughing all the time.
All right, Kane.
All right, see you later, guys.
Thanks a lot there. Jessica,
Yeah.
23, what's up?
I'm calling because I've been listening to your show a lot, waiting for someone to call with my problem. No one has. I'm calling because I have no vaginal sensation when I have intercourse.
Not like numbness?
No, it's not necessarily numbness. It's just like someone's touching my arm or something like that. It's just.
You aren't aroused by it.
Right.
That's only when. Jesus Christ, Drew, you sound like Kissinger tonight. This is going to be a long night. Can you go blow some phlegm or something?
Trying.
Do something, would you please? Jessica.
Yeah.
What about oral stimulation? What's that feel like?
You know, I've been with my boyfriend for many years, and in 4 years I've had an orgasm twice through oral stimulation. I'm fine down there. It's just that, he doesn't know I have this problem.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask again, what does it feel like during oral stimulation? Does it feel numb?
No, during oral stimulation, I can achieve orgasm. It's just oral stimulation doesn't last that long because he thinks I can have an orgasm vaginally.
Do you act like you have orgasms vaginally?
Yeah, I do.
Well, there you go.
But I mean, I don't want our relationship to fail. I don't want him to think it's his problem.
It is his problem.
It's not his problem.
It is his problem.
Well,
it's not his fault. Okay, then.
Well,
it's not his fault. I talked
right,
to
but if this guy gave you oral sex for 20 minutes, would you have an orgasm?
Yeah, I probably would. It takes me a little while because I kind of tense up.
Yeah, let's listen. When people tell us they don't feel anything below their waist, one of the first questions we ask is, were you sexually abused? Because that's sometimes what happens when people have that history.
Is it a shock thing?
Well, when I was young, about 8, there was a kid who was 12 that I hung out with, and we did experimenting. But other than that, I wasn't sexually abused.
Whoa.
Drew, the wind blows in your crack, and Drew claims sexual abuse from guys.
No, if
he was older than me, and I mean,
you had an affair when you were 9. That's no big deal.
You were 8?
Right.
Did he try to put his penis in you?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Okay, guys. Okay.
All right. The penis was attached.
I have an 8-year-old girl. If I found
that is sexual abuse.
Yeah,
that is profound sexual abuse, and that will affect you.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
All right. How many times did that happen?
Once.
One time.
Once, and I remember it was like 5 minutes.
Did you freak over it?
No, I didn't. It was kind of an experimental thing.
All right, let me talk to the panel for a moment. See, it only happened once. I understand that she has this problem, but it seems like too much for too little.
I agree with you.
I agree with you guys that it's sexual abuse.
Did she have lovers before? Hi.
Yes.
Hi. Did you have lovers before your current significant other?
I didn't actually. No.
Maybe this relationship isn't working.
Maybe.
No, it's not the relationship. I absolutely love him. We've been together for a long time. There's nothing wrong with the relationship. That's what I'm calling it.
Except you're not really into it.
It's something physical. I love having sex with him. That's why I have
a chemical
sex.
thing. I'll roll my penis in Coke to numb it up so I can keep an erection when I'm with the ladies, and sometimes that numbs the vagina.
I see.
Too much information for me. How about you guys?
You guys don't, I didn't tell you guys that?
No.
I thought he usually snorted it up his penis.
I tried to train my penis to do that, yeah. Great.
But what,
like an elephant's trunk?
It hurt when I was shoving that 20 up in there.
He sounds like Henry Kissinger doing that.
Yeah, but listen, Jessica, so that may have had an influence on what's going on here. You certainly have gotten yourself in a bind in terms of faking it with him, and one of the things we tell people is to sort of now make it seem like something has changed. That for some reason you don't understand why your functioning has suddenly halted, and maybe he could do this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that to try to bring you back in line again.
Right. It's like with the faking of the orgasms.
Yeah.
It's like if you've been ripping off your work for 5 years, the day you get busted is the first day you started ripping stuff off. I mean, that's your rap, right?
No, the problem is that he's very eager to please me.
Right, so give him that opportunity.
Sex will go on for an hour.
Yeah, but
Okay.
It's not the right kind, Jessica. It's not what you need, and you have to stop and say, "Oh, I don't know what it is, but try this."
Tell me once some more of the oral sex.
That's all.
But what I want to know is, because I've talked to my gynecologist about it, and she said that some people have this. I mentioned it to her, and she said that some people have this problem. I don't know if it's hereditary. I don't ask my mom.
You don't want to talk to your mom about...
But
we talked to lots of people who have problems with arousal and whatnot, and all of us, I think, are pretty clear what Jessica's problem is.
Yeah.
Right? It has something to do with her sexual abuse past, but most importantly, it's her inability to be present and assert herself during her sexual experiences.
Yeah.
And she can't even to the point of, will not listen to our direction. No, it's not that. It's not that. When she knows she can function if she just gives them some direction.
I'm done. If people do not want to accept my assertion, then I'm ready to move on to other calls.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad you guys feel good about it.
Listen, I had a long talk with Drew the other day. I said, look, we don't have to help every goddamn person who calls this show.
No, that wasn't
1 out of 5.
That was not a long talk we had. That was something you've mentioned every night for the last 6 months.
1 out of 5 it seems good to me.
You know, lately you guys have been sounding a little edgy on the air. A little edgy.
Yeah.
Got to tell you, sometimes I want to call in. Every time I plan on calling in, I call in and it's like, oh, hey, Art, this was taped like 3 months ago. And I'm like, hey, the guys will put me on the air. It'll be great. It'll be fine. Hey.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? We do the show live every night.
Shut up.
It must be one of the times, and we were out occasionally.
Yeah, I've missed.
You were out at that with one of those juggies or something. I don't know.
I may have been.
Vanessa?
Oh yeah, I may have been in Jamaica or something. You know how it is, Drew.
You're a big star in literally.
Literally a millionaire. Literally. Matt. Who cares? Matt, you're 19. What's up?
I had a question about birth control side effects.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend's using Depo-Provera.
Yep.
And we read that some of the side effects might include increased or decreased sexual desire.
Yep.
And it seems to be decreasing.
That's more often than not what happens.
Is there anything you can do about this?
Wait it out and don't do it again.
What's that?
Wait the 3 months. It takes about 3 months for it to...
Well, she's been on it for how long? About a year now. And
yeah,
right, but you get the shot every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right, so
don't take another shot.
Don't get another shot?
Just get... Why?
It's so easy.
Matt,
wait a minute.
Change
the
your birth
world's
control.
Change the birth control pill.
Right?
Go back on the pill.
The pill? Would that be a safe?
He'll house her. The
It really is. I've never seen a guy. This is like a parrot. Are you on some pirate's shoulder right now, man? Bill, shiver me timbers. Avast there. Ahoy.
Listen, the shot will wear off at 3 months. Don't take another shot. Use another means of contraceptive, preferably the pill. Not so much progesterone, which is what is in the Depo-Provera.
Okay,
a little more estrogen.
When did she get the shot last, Matt?
Last? Well, she's due for another one.
Last?
So I guess it'd be about 3
Matt, I'm going to ask you a serious question. Don't take it the wrong way, but I'm doing a little survey. When you're driving and you see a road sign like yield, do you physically say yield while you're driving? Or do you just take in the meaning of the sign? So no, sometimes if I'm a little buzzed, I will actually say stop or yield.
Well, in Matt's case, he puts a question mark at the end of each
Yield.
Yield. Stop.
Hey, Matt, here's how you do. You flush it out of her system with massive quantities of white vinegar. You give her drink about a gallon and a half of white vinegar every day, and that'll flush it out. Okay? And then she goes on to the pill.
Don't forget to tell them about the leeches.
Oh, yeah. You want to go even faster and more economical way, you go leeches. I'm guessing you live near a swamp.
Okay.
No.
Matt, here's the deal. When did she have her last shot?
It seems, she's due for another one, so it's probably about 3 months ago.
Okay, so don't take the next shot. Go to the doctor and get another kind of contraceptive for
her.
her.
What do you suggest?
Try Ortho 777. Okay?
Ortho 777, okay.
All right, there you go.
All right, you writing that down?
Yeah, I've got it in my head.
All right.
Well, hold on there, buddy. You got a lot of other stuff in your head, too. There's not a lot of room for you up there. You got the hee-haw song up there. You got the Country Bear Jamboree, the images of the Papa Bear. You got a lot of stuff floating around there. Now, give that to me again.
What's that?
What's the pill?
Ortho 777.
Ortho. See,
I can remember
Ortho.
Ortho good.
That's right.
Okay, time to go.
Whatever it takes, get him to remember it. That's fine.
Now, see, if I'm one of Matt's buddies, I start suggesting that he wears one of those blackboard necklaces. Just a little blackboard that comes on a string that you put around your neck. Piece of chalk on a string.
Kind of a Flavor Flav tip.
You get an idea, you got a notion, you got an address, you got a phone number, pow.
Yeah, but
write down onto that blackboard, and then you look at it periodically during the day.
It's like riding in the back of a pickup truck, man. There's no way to have one of those and look cool.
Yeah, you're right. And if you do wear one of those in the back of the pickup truck, you'll take your head off, especially on the highway, because there's a lot of wind there. Michael?
Yes.
You're 29?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good.
I got a question. I broke up with my fiance about 6-7 months ago. And about 2 months after that, I was put on a medication called Lamictal, in addition to the
Lamictal.
Yeah. In addition to the Depakote that I'm taking.
You took both?
Yeah, I'm taking both of them.
Huh.
I know one of the side effects of Depakote is depression.
Well, you're being given those medicines for depression. Unless you have a seizure disorder?
Yes, I have epilepsy.
All right, that's kind of a strange combo for.
Well, I was having about a year ago. I started having seizures about every 6 weeks or so, and they put me under 24-hour surveillance.
Were you on Depakote at that time?
I was on valproic acid.
That's Depakote, same thing.
Well, yeah, but it kind of works a little bit differently. So they put me back onto Depakote.
All right, the pharmacology is a little different, but it's basically the same thing.
Right, but according to my neurologist, it wasn't.
Listen,
different.
I'm going to need to get on an antidepressant here soon.
The point is, the Depakote and Lamictal are both used for bipolar illness and actually used to treat depression. So it's kind of rare for them to cause depression.
Okay.
I mean, any medicine, you look at their package insert, depression's always on there. Okay. So
from what I understand, if I take it for epilepsy, it kind of works the opposite. From what I understood.
Well,
I'm not.
Regardless, if he's feeling
You're feeling depressed, you got to talk to your neurologist about it and get on something else. Like I said, any medicine you can name can cause depression.
Or maybe he's just depressed because of the breakup of his with his fiance.
Exactly.
Are you in therapy?
No, that was actually my other question. I had another question. If you knew of any, I guess, free services for therapy.
What area are you in?
San Diego.
You can try UC San Diego Medical School. They usually have those sorts of things available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't try San Diego State. They're all in Tijuana trying to score.
Yeah, I know.
You okay?
Okay.
I wouldn't be so terribly inclined to blame the medicine zone in this case. I mean, you should address it, but sort of.
No, I wasn't blaming the medicine.
No, I understand.
I was just saying that having been through depression, that maybe regardless of it, even though some people are treated for depression, maybe he's depressed anyways, and this medication, for whatever reason, isn't helping.
Or making it worse. Yeah, right, absolutely.
All right, we were going to take ourselves a break. I just want to check in with Alex real fast here. 25?
15.
Yeah. Oh, is he 15?
Oh, no, 25.
Do you like the gangbang porn, do you?
Yeah. I also wanted to say hello to Everclear. Been a huge fan since the Tim Kerr days. Knows about the subject.
Oh, very cool. So you like the Everclear and the gangbang porn? Cool.
Yeah, you're halfway to hell.
Hey, man.
You're not together, but...
Hey, man, there's a lot of times when I turn on the old gangbang porn, throw on an Everclear record, and
now let
my freak flag fly.
What are you talking about, dude? That's
a combo.
Is that like...
Craig knows what I'm talking about.
Not in my house.
It's a combo not to be reckoned with.
Is that like 5 guys and the one chick? Porn?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I like best about those movies is when they have the 4 guys who aren't getting the BJ during the gangbang are all kind of doing that sort of, it's not quite jacking off, it's like jack light. It's like the kind of jacking you do.
It's maintenance jack.
Yeah, it's a maintenance jack.
Yeah, they're just trying to maintain the stiffy.
Fluff. Yeah.
It's like self-fluff.
Self-fluff.
It'd be like, it's kind of what the fighters do as they enter the ring. It's not actually the fight, it's just kind of staying loose, throwing a couple jabs, moving the head around a little bit,
Bobbing and weaving.
Guy on his back, putting a little sponge on the nuts, just the guy's got to kind of keep it going, which is, I don't know, I would be insulted if I was the woman. And saw
that's
4 guys trying to keep
that's
it
the
going.
whole reason behind it, man.
For being insulted?
Pretty much. It's
it is a little degrading.
It's all about degradation. Do you have a girlfriend? Wife?
Wait, hold on.
We have time.
I'll put him on hold.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a little break. Everclear is here. We're gonna hear something off the new CD, Songs from an American Movie. We'll take a little break. We'll get back with Alex, Everclear, and music after this. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Art, Craig, and Greg are all here from Everclear. We're going to hear a song off the new CD, Songs from an American Movie. This CD just came out about 4 or 5 days ago, and this is the rock one. So we will hear something off of that, and I think we'll finish up with Alex, and then we'll hear a song. Alex?
Yeah.
All right, so you're 25, and you like the gangbang porn.
Well, I do, but I think it's really degrading and disgusting at the same time.
Right.
And so my question is, I guess, is that normal? I mean, I'm really, turned on by it, but at the same time, the actual, concept of it, I think, is really disgusting. And I get myself, when I'm actually with my partner, feeling, kind of like fantasizing about it, but at the same time feeling really guilty about it. And it's a big enough issue for me.
You're thinking too much.
It sounds the way Adam relates to masturbation in general.
Right.
You overthink it. You feel guilty when you're by yourself. You're disgusted when you're done.
You're ruined.
Never happen again.
It's like swinging a golf club. You can't be thinking about inhaling or exhaling or wind. You got to swing away. You got to swing away. You think too much, it goes right into the sand trap. Your semen will go right into the sand trap, and then it'll gather sand. You know, it'll come out like one solid piece. It's really gross. Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing too much thinking. The whole idea of porn is to kind of roll in your own filth for a few minutes a day. Or for me, like an hour and 15, hour and a half a day. But that's the whole deal. You know what I mean?
Why is
it's like going to a rock concert or something?
So basically what you're saying is sex for you, or when you're by yourself, is better with an element of shame.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Or that...
Or that kind of dicey, seedy element.
Now, all joking aside, I've had issues like that in the past, like years ago, when I was single and I was in relationships that I didn't feel fulfilled. Is there a connection there, do you think?
Between one and one?
Well, just a feeling of low self-esteem and shame. What's your self-image after you watch it? Are you pissed off at yourself, Alex, after watching this, even though you feel maybe sexually sated?
Yeah, I feel kind of disgusted with myself. Like I'm thinking below what my ethics would be.
Is that a turn on at all, though?
What, feeling bad about myself?
Yeah, the element of shame.
Maybe there's, I don't know, more thought.
Well, do you think it translates in your relationships?
I don't know. That's what I'm concerned about. I feel like there's this big duality.
But listen, Alex, you're 25. You're asking all the right questions. You're asking too many questions. Your nuts wish you would shut up and just whack off a little bit. I think you're fine. I'm not. I don't. He doesn't sound like a guy with a real problem to me.
Well, not one that we can really deal with. I mean,
all right, but
let's get rid of him.
He's got traumatic shame, and he's got some issue of aggression towards women, and when he expresses it, he feels really guilty about it. And,
all right,
he wants to degrade a woman in some way.
But degradation is, I put him on hold. Degradation is kind of a part of a lot of people's arousal.
Right, but for him, it has special meaning for some reason because he feels super guilty about it, and he sort of equates that with feelings he has about his girlfriend, and then hides it from them real quickly.
He said his partner.
His
partner.
Let's
go.
He's talking about Alex. You're talking about a woman, right?
Your partner.
Alex. Oh, wait, I think he hung up.
Car phone. No, listen. Yeah,
that's good radio, Drew.
See, there's a big question mark.
Let me ask that then. I think for most guys, a certain degree of degradation is good, or at least enjoyable in the bedroom. A certain degree.
Of yourself or of the other?
No, not of myself, you jackass. How dare you?
Well, it's reciprocal degradation.
You're big into how dare you these days.
Well, I mean, yes, that's my new. That's
your new thing.
It's my new thing. Well, listen, when you got to do 2 hours of radio a night, you got to say stuff over and over again, so you don't have to think so much. That's one of the things.
We don't have that problem.
I know, but if you sat in here every night for 2 hours, you'd end up. It's like you go out on concert, you go out on tour, you sing the same songs every night, right?
Well, yeah, but
how dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
Here's what I'm saying.
Let's open it up to the panel here. Let's see what the boys have to say about it.
You guys, when you have sex, there's a certain amount of a little ass grabbing, a little teeth gritting, a little hair tugging.
When Craig and I have sex?
Yeah, when you guys are getting on in the tour bus.
Definitely.
I think most guys have.
They don't have sex anymore.
A certain amount of, baby, you love it. You know what I mean? Especially if you get a few beers in you. Drew, will you back me up on this? Don't you think that's normal for most guys?
A certain amount of aggression.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like a certain amount. Most women, I would have to say, just about every woman I've ever met, to a certain degree, to varying degrees, that appeals to them.
Degradation.
Yeah.
No, to be submissive to a certain extent.
It's
like caveman.
There's a little
cave girl
being naughty.
You guys are talking around different things, though. Being submissive.
No, I agree. I totally agree. But
being degrading. I mean, your grandmother, your mom hit you over the head with your own testicles.
That was only in a dream.
I understand, but
we
it's
have
understandable.
No proof it was that.
It's understandable that would make
I'm
you
so
feel.
sorry I ever told you about that, Drew.
Why did you tell him that?
I'm so sorry.
He doesn't like you.
He didn't realize what he was saying. He goes, I had this wild dream last night. I was in the swimming pool. I was in the deep end, and these two haunchy women came over and beat me over the head with my own testicles. Just after describing his mother and his grandmother as haunchy. 5 minutes before.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I was beat with my own testicles by my family.
And so it's
Mommy?
It's understandable that he would feel some need to degrade and feel power over somebody that made him feel that way.
I see.
I see.
Is it important to you that I cry? Kissinger?
No.
Can't you go work on some kind of peace accord or some summit, some SALT treaty or something, you jackass? Why do you always do this in front of the band?
I'm just inspired by
How
art.
dare you?
Can you please say the word testicles and the word hanchi like Henry Kissinger?
The Soviet Republic tended to sport haunchy testicles.
You did it better a minute ago.
Yeah, he's not a good pressure guy, Drew. You turn the spotlight on him, he tacos.
You hit your nuts?
All right. We got nowhere with that, but that's fine. Expect another hour and 25 minutes worth of that.
Of the same.
We're going to hear something from Everclear. You queued up there, Anderson? This one is called When It All Goes Wrong Again. Yeah, it's a little offering from our good friends Everclear. Songs from an American Movie, Volume 2. Good Time for a Bad Attitude is the name of the CD. It is currently out, and while you're out there picking up that CD, if you haven't already, you can get the Volume 1, Learning How to Smile, which is the slightly more mellow of the two.
How do you guys feel about Napster?
What? About Napster in general?
Yeah.
Or the fact that they just...
in general.
Well, I think the technology is really cool. I think it sucks that they use anything or anyone borrows something without permission. I don't believe file borrowing or sharing is sharing or borrowing if you take something without somebody's permission.
I totally agree. I mean, I know it doesn't sound cool. Like, in a way, you sound uptight when you say it.
You're in the man's back pocket, Adam. That's
right,
the thing.
Right,
It's
the
true.
deal.
But,
But aren't you by making yourself available to Napster, by being online in that way? Can't you block all that?
No, you can't block it.
You can't?
No, someone... They get their records because basically you have to send out advance records, right?
Yeah.
You have to send out advance records to radio, to press, to publicity.
That's how they get it.
Shows like you guys get records before anyone else does. And someone along the way will sell it to Napster for $100.
Oh,
and
100. Christ, I got... What did I get, 65 for the last one? $100. Are you asking me seriously? Sons of bitches. I've had it up to here with this Napster, and they're undermining their dirty.
Man,
deal.
they just sold out to the man. They just did a deal with BMG.
Well, I mean, I don't subscribe to this theory that everything on the internet should be free. Because it's not. I mean, it's merchandise. Anything that was being sold and is now free, that's wrong, whatever it is. Whether it's art or ideas or whatever it is, if somebody's charging for something, getting paid for it, then they should be compensated.
Yes, I agree.
Well, it costs money to make records, and that's the whole thing.
But I mean, what if they did it with TV shows? You know what I mean?
Well, they will. They're doing it with movies. They're starting to do it with movies. I mean, the technology's going to get to the point where they're going to be able to do that, and someone connected with it is going to leak it. And once it's leaked, it's done.
Right.
A digital copy of a movie, it's like... it's just going to be free. So basically, it has to get to the point that people are going to start putting, some sort of safeguards in it, and then the bright boys and girls on the other side of the fence are going to figure some way to get rid of that. I never worried about it as much, and I never wanted to go out and be like Metallica and yell at people and make it a big deal, because these things always figure themselves out. They really do. Sooner or later, I mean, I talk to people. I've got friends that work at Napster that used to work in the record industry, and they're like, the only reason we came on is because we were told it was going to get legit, that there was a deal brewing, but right now we have to appeal. We have to appeal to all the frustrated college students, and we need to get press. So the only way to get press is to be defiant and outlaw. And,
I heard, I was, somebody showed me that there's a couple versions of me singing the Taboo 2 theme song on Napster. So.
We'll see.
Yes, he does. You guys into Taboo 2 at all?
No.
He knows how to please in every detail.
Art is wondering what the hell's happening to
him. The guy's banging his sister and his mom. More than you'd ever imagine. Jump into the ukulele, Greg.
Yeah, I think that should be made available free. I mean, I don't think anyone should have to pay for that.
Oh, please.
No.
The movie itself cost almost $1,800. Oh, yes, my big moment. You thought that you knew him? Well, maybe you did. But you don't. That's my stage. That's the stage experience coming through. He only reveals what he wants you to see. shows it all. And when he does,
I'm sorry, I gotta leave. I gotta go get hit by a car. Something fun.
The big ending here, Art.
Go.
If you only knew just what he could do.
Oh.
You want him to if you only knew.
Big hand for Adam Carolla.
Thank you very much.
I did that in case he was going to go into another stand. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's the Taboo 2 theme song. Nice. Which can be found on Napster, I'm told. All right, so how much does it cost to make a CD? And I know it varies.
We got to go to break.
No, hold on a second. How much does it cost to make this CD?
That CD?
For you guys to make it. I mean,
everything, all in, everything. Mixing.
Yeah, right.
What it costs? $400,000.
$400,000. So
that one costs more.
Right, $400,000. Why should it be free?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. You're buying a piece of that $400,000.
Well, the whole thing about the technology is if you only like one song off it, then buy that one song. Let's figure out how they can buy that one song. That's fair. But to me, it should be like anything. If you buy more songs, you get it cheaper.
Well, that's the point. It should be able to drive price, but not eliminate price.
All right, Kissinger. We're going to take ourselves a break. You bring that up at the next summit meeting. And when we come back, we'll talk to Julia. She's 17. She's hooked on the laxatives. All after this.
1-800-LOVE-191. We'll be right back.
How old do you have to be to listen to the Loveline?
Loveline on 94.7 at Arcade, the new rock alternative.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Yippee!
With your host, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Everclear is here. That would be Art, Craig, and Greg, all from the band. And Drew's nursing a cold. Art is nursing a cold.
Yep.
Craig is nursing one as well. But Greg and I've never felt better.
That's right.
All right, let's talk to Julia. Julia's 17.
Hi, Everclear. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Adam, Drew, before I ask my question, I just want to tell you, I think you guys are like wonderful people, and you guys help out a lot of people.
Thanks.
And I saw you guys at the Best Buy in Westminster.
Yeah.
Do you remember I asked you for free tickets to the Man Show, Adam?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I had a question about eating disorders.
Okay.
For about a year, I've probably been, I was bulimic for about 5 or 6 months at first, and then it got too hard to do, so I found out about laxatives, and I got hooked on those.
But that's part of bulimia. It's still bulimia.
Yeah, but...
I mean, you're not vomiting anymore.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing.
Now, how I've never taken a laxative in my life. I put a jacuzzi jet in my ass several dozen times, which is the man's laxative. I don't have time for those things that kick in.
Art, you didn't hear this story?
No.
This was in preparation for weapons use of the... I guess you'd call it an ejaculate.
Let me tell you, man does what he's got to do.
You got a 17-year-old girl on the line. Come on now.
All right, but the point is, I swear you shoot water 18 feet out of your ass. You've never
Did
seen
you do
anything
it?
like it. Yes.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah. Weapons.
You know how...
To fight back.
Yeah. Things... I was attacked by other guys who did that, too. It was not a great time in my life.
How long ago? This is like 2 weeks ago?
No, how dare you? This is almost 9 weeks now. What is it? No, this is high school. But, Julia.
Yeah?
Get them off.
You want to use the jacuzzi method? Or?
No.
And how do the laxatives work? I know they work, but do you take it in the morning? Do you take it after the meal?
They take lots of it all day long.
Take it all day?
After the meal, but I never took it by like 50 or 100 like most people do. I started out with about 2, then moved to 4, and it kept going up. The most I ever took it once was about 2 days ago. I took like 34 of them.
So it's bizarre. Is they think that somehow...
But they didn't work. They didn't work at all that good because my system's so used to it.
Yeah, well, you can get to the point your colon won't move. I've had patients actually have to have a colon removed. They end up with a bag because the colon won't work anymore.
Colostomy bag?
Yes, absolutely.
That's attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that adds weight, too, that big dookie bag. It does. What, 4 or 5 pounds on average? I take mine off before I get on the scale. It's vanity. I admit it.
And it's interesting. It's not, they somehow believe that somehow the laxatives make the food go through them.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
which in fact is just causing chronic inflammation.
But Julia, does it, so you eat a big, let's say Thanksgiving, you sit down, you eat a big meal, right?
Right.
Then you pop the laxatives immediately after you finish the meal.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot, though.
No kidding.
It's just that it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, I bloat really easily.
You bloat because your bowel swells up when you're not taking laxatives.
Yeah.
And you've got to get off these things.
Like, even...
You're also going to get swelling in your legs when you stop. Your kidneys are severely stressed by all this. And when kidneys used to working hard to hang on to sodium and electrolytes, and when you stop, the kidney will still have been in its state of adjustment. It will continue to hang on to the salt, and your legs swell up like crazy for several months.
Okay.
And you just have to go through that.
What about the mental aspect of that?
It's something that has to be treated.
I mean, you know you have a problem with this, right?
Yeah.
That's why you're calling, which is really cool. But have you talked to anyone about it? Have you talked to, I assume you haven't talked to your parents?
No, I was actually going to call a therapist, try to get some help.
Good.
If I have to get it through my doctor, right? Will they tell isn't it illegal for them to tell my parents anything?
That's right.
Okay.
But be careful that, they will be sending what's called explanation of benefit forms to your parents, which show what they were paid for.
Right.
Yeah.
If you talk to your doctor about that, maybe there are ways they can sort of couch that in euphemisms. And
Well, how does that work? Are you a member? Are your parents belong to a HMO?
No, PPO.
Yeah, so they'll send an explanation of benefit back home.
All right, we got to take a break. But will there be a big stamp that says laxative junkie on the receipt that they get in the mail? No. All right, take care of yourself, Julia, please. We'll be back. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. That's Greg on the air drums and space ukulele. Craig is nursing a cold over there. So is Art. That is Everclear, and so is Drew. And I know we bring this up every time you get sick, but it is funny when a doctor gets sick.
I love it.
I have to admit that.
There's a certain evil irony there.
Well, at least supposed to heal. What is that? Physician, heal thyself.
Right, and also as a physician who attempts to do so as a fool for a doctor. But but it's nice that I can entertain Adam in some capacity.
It's funny. Yeah, it is.
I'm not always that lame.
It's like
Well, there's a payback because he constantly entertains you.
Yeah.
But if you open the paper and read that the fire chief's house burned down, you'd chuckle just a little bit, wouldn't you? And it's the same irony.
Craig's got a story there.
Craig's your house.
My grandfather was a Spokane fire chief up in Washington. Me and my brother set this big field on fire. And we're on the paper, and there's a picture of him scolding us, and we're just... It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you?
My brother was like 10, and I was like 7.
Did you ever set anything on fire big? Because I set a field on fire as well. I was showing off for some girl when I was like 4 or 5. Typical. Girls always get me in trouble. My first driving ticket, my first car, I went and got when I was like 15 and a half, 16.
Nova?
My permit.
What was it? A Nova? A Dart?
Close, dude. 69
Chevelle?
Camaro.
Ooh. No, 69. Yeah, jacked up in the back.
Jacked up in the back. Bondo broken up all over the front.
Primer all over the place.
My mom begged me not to buy that car.
Yeah.
But it's my money.
And how much that car cost you, by the way?
Oh, $800.
$800.
But that was $1978.
And what were you doing when you got popped? I mean, just doing a Brody or something?
Man, no, check it out. I went over with, I had a permit. So at the time, you could drive around with someone under 21. And my friend was 18. So we went and got a 6-pack of beer, got in the car, went over and picked up my friend Dee Dee, who I had a big crush on. And she's like, make it go fast. So I'm just like, down this residential street in Santa Monica,
And did you been wrenching on the car? Did you put some headers or
dude,
cams
I just picked up the car.
Ah, perfect.
And sitting at the end of the street is this cop sitting in his car with his dog, canine guy, eating a sandwich.
Eating a donut.
Yeah. No sandwich. Probably going to wash it down with a couple of donuts.
Did you go to traffic school? Did you pay it off? What'd you do?
Oh, well, that was interesting because I went and talked to the judge, and see, I didn't have a license, so it's a different thing.
But you had your permit.
I had my permit, but I was 15 and a half, so I had to go talk to the judge. And so I tried to bring my sister in. The judge is like, no, you're not getting away with this. That's not going to work. You got to bring your mom in. So I thought I'd get away without telling my mom about it. Man, I was a sneaky little guy.
I never lit anything on fire. I mean, there was no fields in North Hollywood, really. Though there were dumpsters you could
cement.
light.
Light some cement on fire.
Yeah, but I was into making those Polish cannons, those things that fired tennis balls out of them and all that.
Tennis ball. Get two tennis ball
mortars.
Two tennis ball cans, right?
Right. Tape them together. Put a little
lighter fluid.
Yeah, cologne, alcohol, any kind of rubbing alcohol, anything flammable, anything that we could air out and get a little vapor going, and then put that match there, and then boom. And then at night, you douse the tennis ball in lighter fluid, light that, fire that, and then watch that bounce into the neighbor's yard, and then everyone just scramble. You never did that, Drew? There's a Polish cannon?
Yeah, I did that. But
that's good. Oh, that's right. You're playing croquet.
Yeah.
I
didn't send flaming tennis balls into the neighbor's yard.
Well, you see, that's the whole thing.
Did you ever play Devil on the Doorstep? That was a good one, too.
How'd that go?
Oh, basically, you go up to a doorstep and you take someone's trash can and you put it right near their door, like trash night, the night before they come pick up the trash, and you put it right on their door, like leaning on the door. So then you knock on the door, and when they open the door, trash just falls in their house.
You can't do as much stuff with those plastic rolling receptacles as you could with the old.
This was back in the old days.
Yeah.
And before plastic bags. No one had plastic bags. No. You hose that can out every week.
We used to use cat gut. That's all we had.
And we liked it.
Once in a while. I remember when the man from Glad came around, though. Yeah, Glad man. He had like Dick Tracy's trash can. He flew around in a trash can. Remember the man from Glad? All right. Nadia?
Yeah.
You're 16. What's up?
Yeah, hi everyone. Okay, well, I don't know what you would call it, but I used to have an obsession with Eminem. Marshall Mathers from Shady.
Sure.
And it's been for about like the past 8 months. And like my question is that, do you guys advise me that this is just like a phase that, he doesn't even know I exist?
No, I think you're going to marry him. I do.
Yeah, I count on it.
Yeah.
No, I would say it would be a phase.
And it's a phase that many people get to go through.
Yeah.
Men and women.
Drew, you had that with Bobby Sherman growing up, I believe?
Yeah, I did. It was Davy Jones.
Oh, Davy Jones.
It's Bobby Goldsboro.
And if you see Laura, tell her. What the hell song was that? He was singing about some chick. He was dying. What the?
I don't know.
I got a friend of that Bobby Goldsboro song.
Oh, wasn't it about the puppy? Bought a puppy for...
Yeah, but he was dying or something. People used to write songs when they were dying. You guys need to write some dying songs.
Dude, I could write dying songs, make your head spin.
No, but I mean ones where you're actually dying while you're singing the song.
Oh, okay.
You're on the train tracks, the train's coming.
I'll do it.
You're thinking of Laura.
I'll call it Adam's song.
Nadia?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Nadia, you're fine. Just don't freak out too much.
Do you think he'll ever be on the show?
He was on the show, I think it was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then
He's too big.
And then he called the show up. It was like 9 months or a year ago. We had another guest on the show. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was, does this sound familiar to anybody? I know he called in the show, but I can't remember who it was. I don't know why he called in the show. And
Anderson remembers.
He didn't?
No?
It wasn't Eminem who called in the show? Who was it? Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't Eminem. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't Eminem.
Yeah, it was. Well, listen, you have no way of proving it. So
Anderson.
All right, we'll get him on the show for you, Nadia.
Nadia, I'm just curious. Why are you so obsessed about him? What just draws you to him?
His talent, actually. I mean, besides his looks.
Oh, okay. So his looks and his talent.
Yeah, he's very talented. I'm a very big fan.
In which way do you think he's talented?
He can freestyle very well. His lyrics, he's a very good lyricist.
Do you do any of that yourself?
No, not at all.
Why not, though? I mean, why doesn't it inspire you to get interested in that?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm like in 11th grade. It's the hardest year of my high school. I'm taking 3 APs. I'm just like the farthest thing from that.
Right.
But I'm just a really big fan. I would love to be on Fanatic, but I think he was already on once.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll pull a few strings over there at MTV and see if we can get you on. I'll pick up the MTV hotline. All right, Nadia, you're fine. This is normal.
You need a little more sort of emotional gratification from your real life, though. I mean, you're in your books full time now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are really working hard, and you need to get a little more balance.
How about the guys at school? Do they like you?
Yeah, but they're more of my brothers. I've known them all my life.
You go to a private school or something?
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, what's wrong with having sex with your brother?
No, find some.
She's 17.
Well, wait a minute. Where do you live? Do you live in the valley?
Yeah, Northridge.
Yeah, see, then it's okay to have sex with your brother.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how that area of the valley got populated so quickly.
Find
a lot of inbreeding.
Find some outside sort of peer groups that you can relate with, and you take the pressure off this a little bit.
And get out of that corner of hell. Would you please? Where are you, down on like a Devonshire and DeSoto or something?
Parthenia.
Oh.
There's plenty of guys who want to look like Eminem.
If I got to fly over that area in a plane, I almost kill myself. You understand?
When your model plane flies over you.
Oh, my God. All right, Nadia.
Okay, thank
I
you.
used to work out there in one of those dungeons where they cinder block shops making cabinets with a bunch of guys named Tom and Dave and
Steve.
Oh boy, the lunch truck's coming.
Come back to us.
The lunch truck's coming, boys.
It's better now.
It was a long time ago.
Let it go.
Come back.
Let it go. Jay Leno used to work on cars.
Oh, we're gonna live
Adam
it
used
up.
to work on Jay Leno's house.
Yeah, I did work on Jay Leno's house. That's right.
Really? Is this job really? Yeah, I know.
No,
I've seen him in person.
I tell you, this.
I like Jay Leno.
One of the things that got me into comedy, or at least made me decide to think I should get into comedy because it was another 10 years, is I was doing a remodel on a house that was directly across the street from Jay Leno's house when he used to live up in the hills on like Woodrow Wilson or something here in the Hollywood Hills off of Mulholland. And I was working on his neighbor's house. And his neighbors were on friendly terms with him, and they used to ask if they could, park the car in his driveway so we could pull our truck in and blah, blah, blah. And, it's the kind of thing where I'd show up at 3 and we'd knock off, I'd show up about 7 a.m., we'd knock off like 4 in the afternoon. And I was looking out the window, and I would notice Leno, who wasn't Leno back then. He was just a stand-up. This is over 10 years ago, probably about 15, 16 years ago. And he'd just walk. I'd say this guy about noon. He'd come out, he'd get the newspaper about noon in his bathrobe, then he'd walk back in his house, and then he'd come back out about 2 in the afternoon with his portable phone. He'd sit down in his garage, and he'd start wrenching on his motorcycles. And so I started walking over there after we'd knock off just to go look at his bikes and hand him a wrench and talk to him a little bit. And I knew who he was because I just knew stand-ups. But he didn't believe that I knew who he was because he was just a guy who was on Letterman every once in a while and just doing the stand-up circuit. But I started talking to him about comedy, and I realized, hey, if this is a gig where you can stagger out of your house at noon with an erection, read the paper cover to cover, and then go wrench on your bike while you yell at your manager until 4 in the afternoon, then head in for a nap. Meanwhile, I'm knee deep in stucco, and I got pool water flying out of my ass.
Making $10 an hour.
$10. $7 an hour. This is what I got to get into, and like that.
And look at you now.
11 years later, pow.
Look at you now. You got that hot rod Beamer out there.
That's right.
Juggies falling off you.
Party home in Sherman Oaks, and I'm literally a millionaire. Thank you, Jay.
Whatever.
Art, pick a call. You're picking calls tonight. I'm going to talk to Cherry.
I wish there was some new ones.
Cherry.
Where's Cherry?
Well, there would be new ones if we went through some old ones.
Where's Cherry? Where's Cherry?
The one that's lit up.
The one that's lit up.
Oh, this one here?
Cherry?
Hello?
Hi, Cherry.
Hi, I just want to say hi to Everclear. I mean, I absolutely love you guys, and my boyfriend does too. And
thank you.
I think you're I've written so many term papers about you. I think you're one of my only role models in life.
Term papers?
You've written term papers about me?
Yeah.
Art, that is freaky.
Dude, you know you've arrived.
How's your grades on them?
Actually, yeah, I've gotten A's.
What were the topics of the term papers?
Well, they've been who's your biggest influence, and I've been listening to you guys since World of Noise and.
Ooh, long time. How old are you?
Just 16.
Yep.
Wow.
My brother, you can thank him for that.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So what's your question tonight?
Well, basically, my parents smoke weed a whole lot, every day, a couple times, and it really gets to me because they've spent a lot of money meant for me and my brother for college and stuff on it, and it's they're secretive about it too. I don't think they know that we know, but we
you got to call them out.
How do you know they're spending your college money on weed?
Well, because they used to tell us how they had some for us, but then some of it's weed, some of it's just stupid stuff we don't need, and
That must have been a pleasant conversation. Hey, we smoked your tuition. Hand me the Cheetos. Yeah, that's all right. Make it tougher.
Well, they don't know that we know. I don't.
You got to call them out. If they don't have any consequences from what they're doing, they ain't never going to stop.
This is both your parents, though.
Yeah.
You know, the good news is you hate pot now, right?
Yeah, well, plus, I think, is it possible to be allergic to pot? Like, whenever I'm around it, or I've tried...
Well, you can if you really hate your parents.
It could be psychosomatic.
Yeah.
What's it
before I even
do?
found out they did it, I mean, I got headaches being around it.
Now, are they smoking in the house and doing it sort of freely?
Like, well, they try to mask it with candles and potpourri, but
You have got to call him out
our
on this.
friends always come over, they're like, oh my god, your house smells like it, and...
You got to call him out.
Does your brother smoke pot?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's, about 18.
18?
Yeah, he's out of the house.
I suspect people don't not anymore pot if they're really into it.
Well, he does it, like, occasionally, but he seriously doesn't do it anymore. He can't afford to. Because he's trying to go to school full-time and go to college, so...
Okay.
All right. Jerry?
You know,
so you have hippie parents, right?
But, well, they're teachers.
What do they do?
They're teachers.
Yeah. There you go.
Wonderful.
Do as I
Public
say,
school or please tell me private school.
Public.
Oh. But you go to private school, right?
No, I go to public.
You go, and they let you get away with those art Everclear bios once a semester?
I write for the local paper and stuff. I'm a pretty good writer.
She sounds smart.
Wow.
Tell Adam to shut the hell up. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask all my friends. I, think you're just great just because you do so much good stuff more than a lot of...
Well, that's very flattering. We're all flattered by that. Thank you very much.
You guys are the reason why I got into music.
But you know what? Exactly what Drew's saying. You've got to call him on it, and you've got to call him on it in front of other people, like your brother. And don't you agree, Drew?
Yeah, just don't let him out. Don't let him slip away.
Yeah. They're they're really nice when they're on it, but then when they're off, they're always yelling at me.
Well, guess what? That's also part of the...
Catch them when they're high.
Yeah, but they're going to start getting irritable and depressed all the time.
Oh.
That's part of the syndrome.
Well, they've probably been smoking for years and years.
Well, but it starts to slip. Eventually, it starts to slip. The bottom falls out. Yeah.
You telling me?
Yeah.
Ann? Who are you telling? Ann, you're 22.
Yeah.
You talking to Art about drugs? Please, how dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you tell Art about drugs?
What's up, Ann?
Hey, yeah, I have a question for Art Alexakis. It's about the lyric in the song you just played that says, I get all sticky inside and I close my eyes and I open up wide. I found that interesting. It sounds kind of like a gender-bending sort of fantasy there. I was wondering if you could explain that.
Man, I hear all sorts of crazy things.
Bingo.
People read into our lyrics, but you nailed it. Okay. Actually, no. Well, I'm just curious. How do you come to that? Show me. Take me on the road.
Well, I just
close my eyes and I get all sticky inside.
Get all sticky inside, and
are you talking about bodily fluids, sir?
Yeah, I think you can tell where I'm going with that. I was just curious.
The weird thing is he always sings yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy
right
on the
before we
tour
do that
bus.
song.
It's
That's
really weird. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Love
yeah, but at least I'm not singing like
no, there's no
amp music.
No,
so shut up.
No, that's something totally different.
No, it's not. That's sick.
When you say
to be a drum playing,
you're
pirate.
the one that's opening up wide and you're all sticky inside.
Adam, you play drums on that.
Look at this.
It's all conflict.
Check it out. Yeah, thanks, Ann. You just broke the band up.
Been together too long.
No. I just.
Oh no! Listen, let me tell you. It has nothing to do with that. It's. I get all sticky inside. It's kind of, the song is very self-effacing. It's just about thinking about. The song basically is just talking about keeping an even keel, a balance when things are bad and when things are good. Growing up the way I did, I'm much more used to things being bad. I'm much more used to when people tell me I suck. When people started telling me and telling us that we were cool about 4 or 5 years ago, the last thing I wanted to do was to believe them. And it kind of puts you on this roller coaster ride. And when it all goes wrong again is basically having a sense of humor about yourself and the world around you and being able to keep on an even keel.
Evil keel.
Yeah, evil keel. Evil Keneal. While things go up and down, well, you can just keep kind of the same. And basically that line, I get all sticky inside, is like just that warm, fuzzy, sticky feeling when things feel good. And
but
sticky inside.
But isn't that one of the interesting,
close my eyes,
important things about poetry and lyrics is that it can evoke all sorts of different images and experiences.
Hey, if it's a sexual gender bending thing for you, man, live it up. Let your freak flag fly.
All right, Ann.
No, I just okay.
That's enough out of you.
Bye, Ed.
Okay, bye. Bye.
He's pushing the button.
All right, let's talk to Zoe. That sounds good.
Yeah, I want to name a daughter Zoe.
That's a good name. He's 28.
Yeah, what's up?
You still have your hymen at 28?
I have the hymen of steel, and so I have this bet. I think that I'm still a virgin, but see, I say that I have the hymen of steel because, like a few years ago, I tried to have sex, and it just wouldn't break the barrier.
You're 28?
Yeah.
There is such a thing that sometimes the hymen has to be surgically open.
Yeah, put a little EMLA on that. And just
Yeah.
But more commonly than not, it's vaginismus or spasm of the vagina that causes you unable to be penetrated.
28 and still with the hymen intact.
Yeah, well, see, so
Send her out a windbreaker, Drew. So that's pretty good.
I was wondering if Adam could break it, and I was also wondering...
If I got to run and start, yeah. I got a dork like a can opener.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've used it to open beans, like when I'm camping.
Dude, I'll be your can of tuna, baby. Anyways,
I call shenanigans.
You had to go with the tuna, huh?
I call shenanigans on this
Could have gone with the corn, huh? To go with the
last
tuna.
time I called, you called me a little nutty, so...
Yeah, I've now upgraded you to medium nutty.
I remember this voice.
Yeah, I do. Like, Zoe, why is it that you're a virgin at the ripe old age of 28?
I'm very picky, but, I mean, I tried to lose it, like, when I was 20... I think 4.
Oh, sure.
I was just sick of being a virgin, and so I consider myself a virgin still, but I have a friend who says since I've had it in me that I'm not, but so
that would be my call.
Me too.
that I'm still a virgin?
No.
Yeah, no.
You had a penis in you.
That's it.
Yeah, because, listen, if you had a hymen like a truck inner tube and a guy couldn't get through it and you were with 10 guys, you wouldn't be a virgin. You'd be a trampoline. You'd be a penis trampoline.
Penises on trampolines. New bit for the man show.
Write it down.
Zoe?
Yeah.
So why are you nutty? What's up with you?
God, I just don't know. When I called last time,
what was your question last time?
I called to say that I'm a fag hag and I'm in love with gay men, and basically I just want to get on the radio.
Are you a drama student? Do you take?
Yes.
Yes, you do. You go to acting workshops, don't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You have, haven't you?
I do theater. I'm a theater major.
Yeah, boy, I could tell that one.
That's trouble.
Well, you're in trouble.
Daddy didn't pay enough attention growing up. Now we all have to suffer.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Exactly.
That's how it is.
Damn it.
Hey, Zoe. Can I give you my opinion? This is art. Since you want to be on the radio so bad, actually, I don't even have to ask you. Do I have to ask her to give my opinion?
No.
Please.
No, I can just get... Okay, basically, have you ever...
Everclear guy?
Yeah, that's me. Have you ever performed oral sex on a man?
Yes.
You're not a virgin.
Because I have performed on a man?
You've had sex. If you've had sex, this is my opinion.
I'm with you on that.
When you put another person's sexual organ in your body...
Adam actually had a very medium stroke of genius on this one. He thinks there ought to be planes.
Medium.
There ought to be various planes that once broken, or we can even have degrees of virginity or something, but he thinks the planes.
The plane, there is a plane that is, between your lips that once broken by
It's like
penis.
the football in the touchdown
Right,
line.
the end zone. The end zone.
The end zone.
But
Right.
he has multiple
Speaking
planes.
of the end zone, you ain't no virgin with that either.
Wait a
This is
minute.
the other plane, the thumb and forefinger plane. That's its own. There's many planes. Yes, the end zone we talked about.
the hymen
Don't even
plane.
get me going on the ears. That's a whole...
Nose plane.
No. The point is once those planes are being broken, that's no longer what we call a virgin. And just because technically you own a hymen does not mean you're still a virgin.
I knew a girl once who was 16, 17 years old, had never had vaginal sex, but she had been giving blowjobs from the time she was 12. Supposedly, I didn't know from experience, but supposedly she gave a blowjob like a porn star, and she had anal sex, but she considered herself a virgin.
Right.
Yeah, we had that a lot on this show where people were preserving their virginity, but going ahead and having anal sex.
Right.
And people lost track of the fact that virginity was meant to mean chastity.
Right.
Not some technicality.
It's
about
a technical game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a technicality. It's chastity.
Hey, man. Hey.
Right. And meanwhile,
What do you want to recount?
I'm sure their husband's going to be, very excited to hear that news. Like, I'm a virgin. Oh, that's great. I've been anally raped more than I can count. You know, you put your penis in there, it's going to be like trying to get that last bit of yogurt out of the peanut butter, out of the yogurt container. Yeah.
Come and get
yeah,
it,
it's just, the triangle. We're basically going to be playing the triangle.
like waving a wand in a cave.
That's right. You're conducting bats. All right. We're going to take ourselves a little break. When we come back, we'll talk to Nikki, right, Art? Art's picking the calls
Where's Nikki?
tonight. Nikki's the one with the arrow.
Oh, yeah.
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 You maybe need to get closer to
we
that
need
screen,
to talk.
Art.
We need to talk about that.
All right. It wants to know if it's normal for an uncircumcised penis to smell really, really bad after this.
What are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, I'm not used to that music. It caught me off guard. All right. Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew over there. Greg and Craig are both here from Everclear. Art is, what is he, in the little boy's room?
He's out listening to phone messages.
I see. Art he's a big star. He'll roll in here soon. He picked the next call, but now he's not around to enjoy it. Should we, let's talk to Nikki.
Yeah, let's move on.
Nikki,
Yeah.
16?
Uh-huh.
Does your boyfriend have an uncircumcised penis?
Well, no, I was down at my friend's house, and there's this really cute guy there. And so he's like, you want to give me head? I was like, okay, sure. And so...
That's how it's done these days. That's how it goes, right, like that.
Hey, how's it going? You want to give me head?
Well, to be fair to him, most of the guys who are talked about on this show just start pushing the girl's head down toward their groin. They don't even ask or present it that way. But that's nice.
It wasn't like that when I was a kid. It really wasn't.
No,
the guys have got it easier now, I think.
Yeah, my line was, may I please buy some head? There was none of this, you want to give me head. I would like to purchase some head, ma'am. Would that be acceptable?
You said that to me. Wouldn't you have expected
what are your terms?
A right cross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how about giving me some head? Yeah, even if you'd been dating the chick for a year, you'd expect to get swatted for that. This is in the 50s when we were in high school. Pulled up in a Stutz Bearcat, wearing my raccoon coat. All right, so anyway, you gave him a BJ?
Okay, no, so, we went in the other room, and it was, dark, and, I couldn't see that it was, uncircumcised, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I went down there. You have to breathe out of your nose when you give head.
Oh, who are you talking to?
Okay.
I'm about to sprout gills in the side of my neck, Drew, from all the BJs I gave him, my deviated septum. Sure.
Okay, and so, I started breathing, and it smelled so bad, and I was like, I have to stop, I'm sorry, your dick smells.
Oh, nice.
Wow, touche.
I don't know, does that mean, he has, a disease or something?
No, not necessarily. And some guys, if they aren't meticulous with the hygiene, they can get a little bacterial growth down there. And some guys just got the funk.
He could just have the funk, but the uncircumcised penis probably added to the funk that he just got. So
it doesn't have to, though.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
He can
specific.
work on it a little bit, but that's all right, Nick. You learned a very valuable lesson about blowing strangers. This should be made into an after-school
was this
special.
a stranger, not a special friend?
No. I just went down to my friend's house, and he was there, and I thought he was really cute.
So you gave him a blowjob?
That was really cute, too. And so I was like, okay, sure.
All right.
He just asked her out, just like...
And you were 16.
Uh-huh.
Good.
All right,
I got 8 years for this.
Slow down.
For this.
All right?
All right, thanks.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Why don't we hear a song from Everclear and let Art and Drew commiserate about their young daughters and what life is going to be like for them in North America when they start hitting puberty. Imagine. And that one of yours, too, Drew. You're
That's what I'm moving.
Yeah, you got to move.
Yeah.
Where are you going, though? It's all over now.
South Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Go there, just get some land, put a big fence around it, let her graze, not let her set her free. You know what I mean? homeschooling, the whole 9 yards.
I can't wait till you become a parent.
Oh, my God.
It's going to happen someday because you're going to get stupid and you're going to get some girl pregnant and get married or probably.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you.
And you know what?
I won't. I'll freak out.
You're not going to be funny anymore.
Everything will be.
You're not going to be
You're
funny
gonna lose that
anymore.
edge.
You're going to gain about 40 pounds. It's going to go all to your ass.
That's right. That's my life.
That's it, dude.
Thank you. All right. I got
down in that bag.
I got gold.
Look down in that damn bag.
What is in there? We've been eating out of
something
somewhere.
moving around in there?
Are you assing me?
No.
What's moving? Oh my God! There's a.
You just ate that whole bag of nuts.
Oh,
and
there's a bug in there. Now, wait a minute. There's more than one. Drew, come on, buddy. Don't spit on the floor. Holy Christ. I mean, now on top of the fat ass, I'm going to have moths growing in my belly.
In your belly if you're lucky.
Jesus Christ. That ain't
get
right.
popcorn.
Oh, all right, Drew.
Why can't
hold on. No, don't throw this away. Bag it. That's Exhibit A. I'll get some money out of this goddamn Westwood One if it's the last thing I do. Drew's got a sack of moths he's been feeding me for the last 10 minutes.
Those aren't little bugs. Those are big bugs.
I just ate them.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I ate those damn things.
Man, that looks like Mothra.
Yeah, I'm going to have one more nut just to be defined. How you know you've eaten worse, Drew?
Look at this. Come look at this.
Yeah, Drew bought a sack of moths from the vending machine.
We need help here.
And don't go for that crap. All right. All right. Hey, Drew, you want to go vomit or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go vomit. Okay. Hey, Anderson, mic him up. This is good. This is good radio.
That's good radio.
Don't see it. Oh man.
Drew,
get it up, Drew. Get it up.
All right. Listen, maybe I should I stop eating? You know you got a problem when you're still looking at those peanuts going, listen, I don't see any moths on those.
You know what?
All right.
Because we're friends.
Oh, thank you.
Have
Art.
a pretzel.
Art's he's got Weebles in his pretzels. I'm going to eat those now.
I've been checking those out, too.
All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. Not a break. We're actually going to hear a song from Everclear. Drew, Ann, call the Orkin guy in. Have the vending machines. Hey, Drew, why don't you go light one of those foggers off in the the vending machine?
I'm going to vomit.
Go vomit. Go vomit.
On the vending machine.
Go vomit on the vending machine. Show your defiance. Rise up against the man by vomiting on the vending machine. All right, we're going to hear something from Everclear. Anderson, where are you? You in there?
Wait a minute. What critic? Yeah.
This one is called AM Radio.
I want to.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. Is Dr. Drew over there? A little AM Radio from Everclear. Drew, you all right there? Drew's not feeling too good.
You're looking a little green.
Who do I take this up with?
He's gonna crap Mothra when he gets home.
Yeah.
You don't have moths in your house?
Not that kind.
Wait, you have yummy edible?
No, we have moths.
You have moths that fly around.
Butterfly moths.
No, you don't have those food moths?
No.
I swear to Christ, I have those food moths in my house, and I cannot get rid of them, and I'm actually angry at them. Is that healthy?
I feel your pain.
Yeah, well, you probably ate some
You'll
of the
feel it
cousins.
much later.
Oh,
yeah, you're fine, Drew.
Hey, in all fairness to the company, though, it said eat by August 1st on it.
Yeah.
It's November 29th.
That's before the larvae hatch and the moths.
Guess what? That's the point. We're pissed off at the vending people.
Yeah, shouldn't you expect that what comes out of the vending machine is something you can eat that day?
Current
You don't
and
have to
up-to-date.
build a time machine and go back 6 months to eat it.
No, it's not like if you're going to buy something out of the snack box, it's not like you're going to sit there and look at
the dates.
The dates and the ingredients.
Right. You trust it. Yeah. All right.
We've been begging for popcorn. Just popcorn.
They used to have popcorn in
They
there.
used to have popcorn.
Yes.
Those were the days.
Why did
now we
stop?
get moth-infested nuts.
Yeah.
And raisins.
Well,
Sounds like something a caller.
to be fair, there's a big sticker on the side of the machine that says "Now with moth-infested nuts." It's probably something you should have heated, Drew. All right.
Can we do this one? Are we in a call now?
No,
we're out of this. Can we do this one now?
We're going to commercial now.
Let's just say real hi to Joseph.
Real high.
Real fast. We'll say hi.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What are you talking about?
I heard on the radio that
On what radio station?
well, here in Albuquerque,
That what?
the beginning of Wonderful sounds exactly like one of Savage Garden's songs, and they actually played the beginning of both, one after the other, and I must say they sounded almost exactly the same, except
Can I ask you a question? I know this sounds stupid. I've seen the name, but I have no idea who they are. Who's Savage Garden?
Australian.
They are a hot couple of gay guys who sing about loving women, ironically.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I would have no idea. No, well, to be honest with you, I never heard that song, so...
Oh, okay. I was just curious about it.
No.
Do we have some Savage Garden? Anderson, go out to your car and get your Savage Garden. Yeah, go bring it in here.
Maybe Anderson has the Savage Garden retrospective out there or something.
Best of Savage Garden back in the garden.
When did the Savage Garden record come out?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not even sure. I don't even remember what the song.
So basically they are alluding to the fact that we're ripping off Savage Garden.
Well, I guess.
Is it possible that maybe Savage, since we're really big in Australia, we sell more records per capita there than we do here.
Really?
Maybe it's possible that.
Well, listen, let me, we got to go to break, but let me just say this.
I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know.
Artistically, these things are going to happen. I tell jokes all the time that I hear other places, and I think that I made them up, and whoever it is said it half the time thinks they made it up, and it's bound to happen. I mean, after the millions and millions of songs that are cranked out, if one portion of one song sounds vaguely like another portion of another song, does that mean
there's only so many
play
chords
at work?
Right. No, I'm intrigued. I'd like to hear it, and I'd like to hear when it came out, because there's been other songs that have come out
Art
by
wrote
bands
that song in high school, which is what people don't know.
I wrote it when this guy was probably in high school last year.
All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. If anyone has a Savage Garden CD around here, they can bring it in. And Drew, you sure you don't want to go vomit?
I do want to go vomit.
Okay, go vomit.
All right.
We'll be back. Hey, Loveline, everybody. I'm Adam Carolla. That is the moth-eating Dr. Drew. You got a problem with moths at your house, you bring Drew over. Forget about the mothballs, the poisons. The kids can get into that.
He'll eat them right up.
Send the moth doctor over. He'll suck that closet dry. We all know the heartache of pulling out a beautiful wool sweater that we haven't worn since last winter, only to see that there's holes been eaten in it from moths. Those days are gone. Dr. Drew will come to your home and rid it of moths by eating every last one of them, and the eggs and larvae.
and the webs.
And the weird webby things that I have at my house. Bad times. All right.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
You pick it, Greg. Come on, Greg.
Number 3.
We're going to talk to Michael. Michael is 18.
Yeah.
What's
Hi,
up?
Michael.
Hey. About 8 years ago, I think I was around 10, I can't really remember. I had very sexual relations with my younger sister.
Great.
Is this your biological sister?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I think I was around 10 years old.
How old was she?
She might have been around 6.
Which one of you? Yeah, perfectly normal.
Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy.
Which one of you had been sexually abused prior to that?
Neither.
No, come on.
Really?
Completely neither.
And how long did this go on?
Not too long, but I think it happened on quite a couple occasions.
Yeah, I mean like over 10?
No. Can't, no. It's got to be under.
And you actually had intercourse?
Yeah, I think so.
How did you learn what intercourse was?
Oh, you can figure it out at 10.
I don't know. I definitely wasn't educated.
All right. Are your parents drug abusers or alcoholics? Is the family broken up?
Yeah, but this was before that all happened.
All right. Well,
something was going on before.
Let's just take it from here. So now your sister's what, 15?
Now she's 14 going on 15.
Right. And how's she doing with her life?
She's good. She's, I don't know, I worry about her. Like, she chases boys, but, nothing too bad.
How are you doing with your life?
I'm all right.
Have you ever spoken to her about this?
No, not since. I mean, it happened a long time ago.
Do you have relationships? Do you have girlfriends?
No. No, I don't know how to deal with girls at all.
Are you into girls?
Oh, totally.
Really?
Very much so.
But you're a little freaked out?
Yeah, I don't know how to approach.
How old is he?
He's 18. All right. Hey, Michael?
Yeah.
And what do you guys think? Do you think he should talk to his sister? Or is that too freaky for her and freaky for him? And, I mean, obviously they both know what went on.
Some sort of joint counseling or something.
Yeah. I don't even know if it needs to go there. Have you been in any counseling for this, Michael?
No.
You should.
Man,
be.
that's your first step.
Yeah, you should be.
Get into it. Talk to somebody about it. See if you need to confront your sister about it. Maybe you just need to confront everything in you. Maybe there was something that happened before, which seems likely to drew into myself that there was some sort of abuse
there had to
before. Because, man, how else would you know to do it? It's not an instinctive thing that you know at 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, they show that crap in the movies. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you don't have the biological mechanisms in place to cause you to move in that direction.
Yeah.
You can figure that out. I knew that when I was that age.
I was so young that my brother had to explain that she
I was smoking, I was driving.
Did your brother do anything weird to you?
Oh, no. He knew about it. He caught me with her one time. And I was totally confused that he had to explain to me that she couldn't have a baby. But I knew that if he had sex.
Let me tell you something, Michael. If I caught my younger brother banging my sister, he would have been my slave well into my 40s. And I'd be calling him now at 36. Bob, come over to the house, empty the garbage, clean out the sinks, get the moss out of the goddamn cereal. Pick the moss out of my ass, would you? Thank you.
He's older and bigger than me. I can't work him at all.
Yeah, but
I'm saying
he'd be working you, dude.
You.
Someone had done something to you to cause you to move in that direction.
All right.
That's it, for sure.
Hey, Michael, you got to talk to someone about this. But don't freak yourself out. You were 10. You were a kid. I know you're the male, and she was younger and all that kind of stuff, and you feel like a bad guy. But you know what? It's done. Now let's work on healing it.
Yeah. I mean, you're 18 years old. It seems like this huge thing to you. It's something that if you deal with now, you can just put it behind you.
All right. Let's, you move on. Have a fruitful life. Perhaps date your aunt or your mom and really just move on with things.
Songs we written about you.
The Bobby Goldsboro song was Honey, by the way. And Honey, I love you.
Okay. I had the 45, dude.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you rock. All right. We're going to take ourselves a little break. We'll be back. All right. That's it with Loveline. We're really sinking into some sort of dark abyss here with the band and True, and we're really getting a lot of morbid discussion here. I know I'm going to have more bad dreams about my family beating me with my scrotum now.
But we're having a good time.
We always have a good time with Everclear. All right, everyone, go out and get the new CD. I know you got the Volume 1. This is Volume 2, Songs from American Movie. Good Time for Bad Attitude. Our good friends, Everclear. Thanks for coming out here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
We always appreciate it. Until next time, this is Adam Crowfoot, Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Dude, I'll be your can of tuna, baby.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Ann Wilkins Ingold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.